Ms. Rekha to introduce the speaker to the participants. Yes, Rekha.
Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest for today, Mr. Divyanshu Yadav, whom is serving as the Director of Snapping
Rekha,
Turtles Private Limited.
Sir, can you mute your mics?
Just a second.
Ah,
Sir, shall I start?
yeah, you can start.
Good morning. It is
Yeah, you
my
can
pleasure
start.
to introduce our distinguished guest for today, Mr. Divyanshu Yadav, whom is serving as the Director of Snapping Turtles Private Limited. Mr. Yadav is a seasoned professional in the field of intellectual property rights with over 5 years of extensive experience in IP practice. He is a registered patent agent with background in mechanical engineering, having earned his BTech degree from the Ideal Institute of Technology. Mr. Yadav's expertise spans across a wide spectrum of IP services, including prior art searches, novelty searches, and analysis, claiming mapping, and freedom to operate searches. He has a proven track record in drafting patent specifications, handling prosecution for patent and design applications, and providing strategic IP solutions. Over the course of his career, he has worked with prestigious organizations like LexOrbis and SR4 IPR Partners, where he has earned skills in patent litigation, IP strategy, and innovation management. His contribution has played a pivotal role in driving growth through intellectual property for various clients across the industries. We are honored to have him here with us today to share his insights and expertise. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Divyanshu Yadav. Well,
Sir, once again, I welcome you. Thank you, Rekha. Once again, I welcome you for this webinar. Over to you, sir. You can start the session, sir.
Thank you. I'll just 2 more seconds at a time. So hi everyone, my name is Divyanshu Yadav and I represent SR for IPR Partners. We have been, I'm the second generation in this firm. My father has been practicing for the last 45 years and we specialize in patents, trademark, copyrights, designs. I also want to tell you guys that I am a mechanical engineer by profession, and this is not just for your innovation, it's also an career growth path. If you believe you have the writing skills and you understand the technologies and you can present it, then you can also become a patent agent and then take your professional career of growth. So I'm a mechanical engineer plus an advocate now, and thus I have the specialty to write patent specification for your innovations. I will take this screen, and if you cannot see the screen, let me know so that I can change that for you guys. Is it visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Thank you. So we'll start with what is very important today is the fact that you all are engineers here and how is your innovation and your technologies, and every year on year you will get some projects to be made. There is one way that you can go to a shop and buy a project, and there is second way that you can actually innovate things. How do you do this and how do you leverage these ideas? That's what we're going to discuss today here. Now, first and the foremost is very important to understand what is intellectual property, right? In Hindi, it is known as Bauddhik Sampada. Now, this is very simple. This is like property created by a person using his or his own his or her own intellect. That means anything that you have created with your uh, intelligence can be uh, intellectual property, and this provides the creator, the innovators, the owner from the government so that he can exploit the IP commercially for a given period of time for his IP and IPR that has he has just built. So what this gives you is the protection that only you and you can do the commercialization. Nobody else can do this. So I'll give you an example. So when I believe you're all engineers, you all have driving licenses, and when a police constable stops you, the very first thing he'll ask you is, show me the RC of your bike or a car. Now, what does RC mean? That means registration certificate of that car or bike, and is it under your name or your sibling's name or family's name? Similarly, an IP right given by the government make sure that you are the right owner, you actually own this IPR. Now, there are multiple types of IPR, and we're going to discuss this simultaneously. Also, what does IPR give you? The first, if you are creating a startup right now, the one and the foremost way to grow your evaluation of that startup is through an IPR. If you file a patent and you get, let's suppose, a patent granted, or you just file a patent, it gives the confidence to the investors, the uh, VCs, to the committee, to people that you're actually serious about this and you have actually created some kind of technology here. IPR is an intangible asset. Now, what does intangible asset means? As in your bike, car, house, these are all your properties, these are all your assets. But these assets are tangible in nature. You can see them, you can feel them. IPR is an asset that you cannot see right, more towards the side that it's just there. You have to do this. Apart from that, what it gives you is the commercialization gain. Once when your IPR goes into market, you can commercialize gain it. Also, the most important aspect is here that IPR owners can stop others. Somebody's audio is off.
Yes, sir. You can proceed, sir.
Thank you. So what this also gives the IPR owner is it gives the right for them to stop others from manufacturing or selling the product for which you have gained the IP protection. Now, as now you have become the owner, you have the right to sell it. If you believe that you're not going to sell it, you can either license it, you can either do an exclusive license or an non-exclusive license. You can or assign this to somebody. We'll share the examples later on with this particular statement. Apart from that, what does IPR give you is it gives you the grand goodwill and brand value in the market. So when I talk about goodwill and brand value, if I talk about which is the most luxurious brand in the world, everybody is going to say LV, Gucci, or some. Now, what does LV, Gucci means? These are brand values. Now, when I talk about which is the most amazing phone in the world, everybody will think about Apple or Samsung. Now, what have they have earned? They have earned the reputation that Apple produces a very good phone with a good quality of screen time and their products are good. So this is the goodwill that they have earned through the market that they have captured in the years. Also, for engineering students, it's very important to note here is that you guys are going to face resumes. You have to prepare your resume. You will be going to the job interviews. And in any job interview, no person who is there to hire you wants to reject you. But he also wants to see the value addition that you have done apart from what everybody has done. Engineering colleges, everybody is there to study, gain numbers. But what is the special and extra effort that you have done? I'll give you an example. There is a sir in Mumbai, Ajantia Towers with, and in his final year of engineering, he prepared an engine. We filed a patent for it. There were four people with it. Uh, Ajinkya Kotawarji, why I'm referring his name is because he went on to create around 30 patents till now. And other three friends who were part of that project, have all been well placed, they got the jobs, they got the packages. And in the interviews, what was very important to note was that every interviewer was asking them the very same question. What was the patent about? What was the technology? What was the thing that you have done apart from the difference? So that was the top point of their interview. They were not going to ask them technical questions. But what's very important here is that they did the project on their own. They knew each and everything inside about the project, what they've done. So when you do such stuff, this gives you a very important credibility. Apart from that, in the education department, if you want to make your career in the education department, IITs have now made sure that if a teacher does not have a patent under their name, they will not become lecturers in IIT. So for educational professionals also, it's very important to file patents and trademarks so that it looks good on their resume. And apart from that, you are all technical people. So, and technology innovation can come from you guys. From somebody who's from the science background or arts background, they might not be very feasible with the technology side, but because we are engineers here, we have the facility, we have the power to think in the technology domain. IPR certificate. Now, next topic is IPR certificate gives you the legal validation and ownership. So, what this provides is, like I said, it's a kind of an RC that has been given to you that you own this particular IPR and this is your property. Now, these are the kinds of IPR that are available in India. First is patent. This is to protect the technology. This was established in 1970. We follow UK laws. Design is the outer configuration of the body, like how the product looks, what it looks like, how is it looking, do I have copied the same product or not. Third is trademarks. This protects your brand name, logos, signals. You also like slogans, label marks, and everything. So this is the trademark. The fourth is the copyright. For any artist here in the house who writes poems, who writes story producing, who writes to like songs or who likes to record videos, they can all do their work copyrighted so that nobody else can copyright it. Then there is circuit design. So everything now that is being created in the current generation is either on an integrated circuit where you map the system and then the circuit works in the intellectual property right. Next is geographical indication. So everybody would have heard Darjeeling tea, Agra ka peta, Kashmiri shawl. So if you look at these names, the very first thing that is very common here is that we identify the place. Now, if I talk about wine, wine is a geographical indication because there's a country in which wine is produced and that word came out from there only. So geographical indication means that this product is from this particular geographical territory and this can only be made there. So that is why geographical indication. So, and most of the IPRs are territorial in right. Territorial, I mean, if you have a protection in India, you will only get the protection in India. If you want to get the protection in USA, you need to go and file the application in USA. So that is why it's very important. I'll give you an example later on when we discuss the patent. Now, coming to the first point, patent. Now, patent is an exclusive monopoly right that has been granted by the government for which you will disclose your invention and for which the government will grant you the license for 20 years to manufacture, sell, or you can either commercialize it by leasing it or assigning it or licensing it or making sure that you leave it. Now, what are the three essential conditions? Because we're all engineers. The very first condition here is novelty or uniqueness. It should not be known in the market. You cannot go and find a new device in USA and claim that this is not available in India, so I have to get a patent in India. No. Novelty means this should be novel in the globe. And if there is anything prior to this, it can be cancelled. The second is inventive step or non-obvious nature. So let's suppose I have established, I'll give an example here. There's a kid in Ahmedabad who got a patent for it. So what he said that uh, I will devise a walking stick which will have a light in it. And when my grandfather wants to use that light in the night time, because he's walking in the stick. There are uh, potholes or stones in his way, so he can escape that and he does not fall by accident. So few people from his family came and told him that Harish, there's nothing big in this. What you can do is you can attach a torch in the stick and then just tape it around that so that the torch can be played. He said that is okay, but I am devising something else. So what he did was, at the end of the stick, he put a dynamo that was going towards a battery. Whenever that stick was, that stick went to the ground, the dynamo was being pressed, and that press was creating this battery that was being charged, and that battery was connected to a bulb. Because this is a technological innovation. Now, if you remove the dynamo, the battery is useless. If you remove the battery, nothing will work. And if you remove the light, nothing will work. Because if the light is bulb is not working, then the whole invention fails. Now, this is a technological innovation. Both the things are correct. Attaching a torch with a tape is also feasible. It's completely fine. But then there's nothing new in it. There's nothing unique in it. It's obvious. You have just simply bought two products from the market, one the stick, one the torch, and put tape around it. But the technological innovation here is when the kid has put dynamo in the stick, and that dynamo was creating this uh, energy that was being stored at the battery, and then that battery, whenever his parents wanted to use it, they could use it. Now that is the technological innovation, and this is not known. This is not obvious to a person. First part is obvious, torch and stick, tape. That is obvious, but this was not obvious. This is where non-obvious comes in the picture. The third is industrial applicability. So there are many inventions which are not industrially applicable. Uh, at current stages, I have not seen this objection in last 8 years, and in my father's experience also, we've never seen this. Anytime you are devising something, you're solving a technical problem or you're creating an industry for that particular thing. You don't create anything for the namesake. You are either creating it for something. Uh, is it okay? Is everything okay? If there's confusion, you can let me know because we have limited time.
It's fine, sir.
Okay. So now, like I said, so these are two examples of how when a company got a patent, their shares increased. So this is for Mumbai, Novartis India Limited gained shared in Mumbai after the business. So this was reported that the cancer drug vaccine has been granted a patent. The Novartis share grew up by 6%. That is a huge amount for one day. There's another Trident stock which raised 4% as the firm receives patent from Europe. You will see this in business paper on daily basis nowadays. And because you got a patent granted or evaluation, this is what I was telling you how your evaluation increases. Now, I believe all of you have phones in your hand. Now, this particular phone comprises a bare minimum of 1,000 patents. This is a sample of Samsung Galaxy S2. Now, if you look at here, Samsung Galaxy S2 holds thousands of patents. How does that hold patent? So the operating system that is there, the patent is held by Google. The camera that you're using here is owned by Samsung, Sony, Fujitsu. The glass screen, the Gorilla protection that has come up is for the Corning INC. Then the integrated circuit is held by ARM Holding. The all-mode screen that is there is owned by Samsung. The high definition link is owned by Nokia Samsung. So everything that you're seeing here from your antenna, battery, camera. So what Samsung has done is the Samsung has taken either a patent or a license from these companies. So Bluetooth is owned by a person. So every time you're using a Bluetooth technology, you have to get a trademark for that from that person because he owns the trademark. But then Bluetooth 3.0 was developed by many companies. So you take a license when you are manufacturing something. So this is a very smart example that a single phone can comprise of 1,000 patents. So if you look around and see around you, Everything is either patented or has been patented somewhere down the line. I will show you. So if you look at this bottle, there is a sleeve here. Now this sleeve was patented way back in 90s. So the what this makes sure is that the water does not fall off from this bottle. So that is why these sleeves are there. So every time somebody has devised a technology that is making sure that you have an advantage over the prior inventions, you can get a patent for it. And this is a very good example. Apart from that, if you have your phones, I probably we are on a video call. So if you look around, take your mother's phone, sister's phone, father's phone, or your friend's phone, and see no two phone will look the same. Now I'll go back again. Patent is for the technology, design is for the product. So two phones or two different brands, or even of the same brand, won't look the same because their edition changes. 1+9, 1+11 has come into the picture. Apple has a different structure. So these are design elements you want to distinguish. So Apple has this unique feature of this finger where there's a small hole where you have to put your finger and when the phone opens up. That is a unique feature that has been granted to Samsung only. Now, if you look at the back screen, there is OnePlus written, Apple written, Samsung written. What does this mean? This is the trademark. This particular brand owns or this owns of this brand. What is copyright? The operating system that is there. Apple uses iOS. Samsung use Android phones uses different types of. There was KitKat. There are other variants. Each company that has come into the picture, Xiaomi has a different copyright because they own a different structure altogether. These are softwares. These operating softwares of each company is different, and that is what they do copyright for it. And the circuit that is built here, that can be got registration under the integrated circuit department. So this simple phone comprises of each element of IPR that is there. So when you are devising an innovation, it is not limited to how you want to see. It can be that you can take all the five protection for a single product. Now, as students, we want to understand that what kind of protection or what patents I can get. So if you have devised a unique device, it can be this smartwatch that I'm wearing right now, or it can be the uh, laptop. And in today's world, everybody is now doing EV products. So any device that you have created, if it is unique, if it is, so now three conditions are very important. If it is novel, if it is non-obvious to a person skilled in the art, and it has industrial applicability, you can get a patent. Similarly, if you have devised the instrument, so these are all three instruments. Scissors, this was way back in 1970. Somebody devised a guitar for song instrument. This was the Swiss knife. So these instruments, when they were developed way back, you get a patent for them. Then these are the apparatus. If you are devising apparatus, this is for the C mechanisms. This is for the Formula One figure one that the Formula One driving gear that has been developed. Now, it's not obvious that every time you're going to develop an hardware. You can also develop a system. This is the system for how the system of the product will work, how the integration of drone structure to how the military database gets the data from them. This system can also be patented in India. Another is when you are devising some chemical composition. If you have developed a chemical composition, like I said, Novartis, cancer drug, cancer drug, medicine. So every time you have a composition, you have a unique structure there. So these can be patented under chemical composition or drug composition. And then in India, we are a very foodic country. We love food. We devise strategies around it. And these are the patent granted in India. This is for a deep fried potato chips. The second is for the plantation of tea manufacturing. Then again, the baked potato slices that is in the Lay's and somebody has got a patent for it. Then the chocolate food that you are preparing. Recently, we have got a case from Kerala that was about jackfruit chips. So nobody till date has heard of the jackfruit chips, and ma'am has got a patent for it. So anytime you are devising a new product or a process, you can get a patent for it. Now, for students who are into the app world, who loves software, who loves app development, you can get three protections. One, because you're going to develop that app, it is going to have a process applied for. You can get a copyright. I also want to tell you here, Microsoft has lost many cases in India because Microsoft is a single owned company which only operates in software. And I'll come back to why this is not, Microsoft has lost a lot of the patents. There's a section that I'll cover in the next slide. You don't get patents for softwares if they does not have a technological advancement or they do not have a hardware in it. So a software can be patented, like I said, process patent. A copyright because you have developed the coding for it on Java, C++, or any language that you are familiar with. And if you believe that my software code is unique and nobody is going to copy it, you can do a trade secret. Trade secret, biggest example, Coca-Cola. Nobody has been able to replicate Coca-Cola for one simple and very unique reason. That is, they have never disclosed their company are making it. So this can only be done when you are sure that nobody can re-engineer or re-devise your composition or make your product. If anybody can reverse engineer your product, then trade secret will be useless. So that's very important. Now, I've come back to what are not inventions. So this is by Section 3 of Indian Patent Act, which says that any invention that is frivolous or it is well established in the natural laws cannot be patented. Any invention that is commercial exploitation of the public morality, health, or so cigarettes, alcohols, these cannot be patented in India because they are hazardous to the health and nobody gives a protection for them. Then a third is mere discovery of scientific principle of formulation of the living abstract, non-abstract things. Anything. So let's suppose you are going deep down in the sea and so you see a new product or a new plant there. That is not something you have developed. That is something you have discovered. That cannot be patented. So that is the case. Then if you're combining two different things uh, and two different things chemically, and if it does not have technical efficiency, that cannot be patented. Then as a admixture of resulting in the aggregation of one property. So let's suppose I mix A and B and then I get the A's property enhanced. Then it cannot be patented. A plus B is equals to C has to be there, has to be some unique thing that has been developed. Now, this is very important for us. The mere arrangement and rearrangement or duplication of the known devices, each functioning independently of one another, is in a known way cannot be patented. So, like I said, I gave you the example of the torch stick and the tape. So, if I remove that tape, the torch and stick are doing their fine functioning. But in the second case, when the dynamo was connected to the battery, that any product you take out, the whole system will fail. And this can be patented, this cannot be. So that's very important here to note here. Mere arrangement and arrangement of known devices not patented. A method of agriculture or horticulture. See, like I said, when you take a patent, you can stop people for 20 years. So any method of agriculture or horticulture not patented because you can't stop anybody from doing agriculture and horticulture businesses. Now, another one, any process for medicinal, surgical, curative. So any treatment processes cannot be patented for any either for human beings or animals because what this will do is that one single hospital or one single company can claim that they can only operate or any process for diagnosis. So this cannot be done. Now, next is the plants. Like I said, plants, animals, because these are simply uh, available in the market. But you can get a Plant Variety Act, all right? Also, if you have developed a new kind of seed that was there, synthetic brinjals were being registered, engineered brinjals, so that can be patented, but a simple brinjal cannot be. Then This is very, very important that I was telling you about software. A mathematical or a business method or a computer program per se or algorithms cannot be patented in India. Okay, so that is why software is a little harder to get, but then we try to formulate a process statement and then we try to get it for you guys. Next is 3I, literature, drama, musical, artistic work. If anybody can come back and tell me, yeah, which type of IPR you can do for this thing. 3I. Any literature, drama, musical, or artistic work. What can you do with this? It cannot be patented, but it can be, you can get IPR for this. What kind of IPR will that be?
Maybe copyright.
Very nice, very nice, very nice. So because you can get a copyright for this, you don't need a patent for this. All right. Also, this does not have a technological innovation in it because this is something that is for the pleasure kind of a thing. Patent is for the technology and innovation. The second is mere scheme or method of performing mental act or method of playing game is not patented. So there's no technological innovation here. Mental act, magicians, method of playing game, PUBG, BGMI, uh, Call of Duty, NFS, these do not have any technical advancement per se. Then presentation. So this slide that I'm presenting to you right now, this PPT, this cannot be patented because this is just technical information. But I can get a copyright for this because this is my way of presenting to you. So this particular structure, I can get a copyright. Integrated circuit, we already have a different act altogether. So integrated circuits cannot be patented. This is very important and this is very thing here. This is section 3P, which is traditional knowledge. So in India, we have old daddies, nannies, or dai ammas who always knew something for something. So my mother, when I'm sick or I don't feel good, uh, she or I have a even a physical uh, cut on my body, she'll simply go and put haldi in the milk and give it to me. Now, this particular thing has been known in India for years altogether. All right. Brushing your teeth with the neem and tulsi. Neem is an advantageous thing. This has been known in हमारी दादी, our daddies, nannies used to tell us this. So in this, what happened was there was this Indian person who went to USA who devised the structure for he made an turmeric medication there. And because it was very common in India, the US granted the patent because US did not know about turmeric. But in India, turmeric or haldi is very common for us. So they got a patent in US, then India fought back with them in the US government, and then traditional knowledge server has now been built, and every country who has a traditional knowledge has to put their data along with their dates of proofs that can be submitted to them. Now, any traditional knowledge cannot be patented because this is very common for us in our country. Turmeric is unique or haldi is unique in India. It is not unique in USA. Like I said, it has to be novel. If it is common in India, then we cannot get a patent in US as well. Now, the next we are going to discuss is designs. So anything and everything that you see around you has a design element in it. Now, very important to note here is that you have to apply for this and you must believe that somebody would like to copy you. Uh, Biggest example is ROs that you see in your houses. RO structure, Kent RO has a lot invested in their structure of how the ROs look like. Mobile phones, cars. This is very unique and important for jewelry brands. And in case of, in a funny way, I'm going to say this, men do not care about their clothing a lot, but humans do. And that is why there are designer dresses, designer lehengas. And these are also designed. And can anybody tell me who is the biggest Indian creator in the design industry? No worries. So Sabyasachi, I'm sure you can recall, Sabyasachi is the biggest designer. He last year filed somewhere about 2,000 designs for his dresses. So we'll come back to again food. KitKat, we can see example including Ritubari, Sabyasachi, travel goods, brushware, textile, furniture, teacups, tools and hardware, packaging, watches, clocks, means of transportation like car, bike. If you see, nobody can copy the design of Hayabusa, Ninja. These are design elements because they sell for their designs. In electricity, equipments, machines, optical, illustration, cameras, musical instruments, printing, stationery, toys and games, arts and guns. So everywhere there is design. It's just that do you want to do this or not? So if I'll give you an example, have everybody seen Yakult bottle? That is very unique in nature. That particular way of how Yakult do their design of the bottle is very unique. So they got a design for it first, and when their design was getting expired because design is valid for 15 years, so they went on to the court, and also I'll give you an example of Coca-Cola bottle. They went on to the court and said that the our bottle make sure that our product is selling. You can feel how Coca-Cola bottle looks like. You can see and just, you can touch it and you can realize, yeah, this is Coca-Cola bottle or this is Yakult product. So they also got a trademark for it. That is shape of goods. So that can only be done once you have a very good standing and establishment for the thing. Now, next we are going to come is trademarks. Now, like I told you guys, uh, trademarks are very simple. Your brand image, your brand name. It's very important to get them. There are different types of trademarks, how you want to apply it. So like Nike, I'm going to give you, I can see three here right now, word mark Nike. There's a logo mark of also Nike, which says this. This is just a device mark because there's only single tick here. What slogan, what Nike follow is just do it. Similarly, Subway, a Subway, and then their logo of how their brand should look like. So word mark, just a simple name. Word of the slogan, we can do device mark, just the simple devices, label of how gem structure look, Cadbury ka structure. This is very important where we recall the brand by looking at their labels. Example, uh, in tea industry, red packaging is very famous because Tata Red Label has immense sale. So everybody wants to copy red label kind of a sort of a thing because people often confuse red with red label. In the chocolate industry, Cadbury owns blue color. So any blue color label packaging, Cadbury will fight for you. Now these are also color marks. Like I said, color marks red for Tata Tea, blue for Cadbury. Uh, we also have Coca-Cola, red and blue color, they are taken. Hawkins, they want this there. Now, I'll give you an example of designs, shape of goods. Once you have a very good understanding or in the market, you have a reputation in the market, this can be applied on the trademark as well. So, like I said, one thing is not limited to one kind of IPR protection. Your product can also be trademarked or designed or copyright, or it can be a mix of everything. So it's very important that you have a very good uh, patent attorney with you. He can advise you and guide you. Taking a protection or not is completely your call, but you should have the option to know it. Also, very important here is shape of goods. Sorry, sound marks. Now, if you hear the ringtone of Apple, you will just simply recall, "Array, Apple ka phone hai." Next is OnePlus. The next is Microsoft Windows, when the Microsoft Windows open, ting, 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 there's a sound. That sound makes you recall that it's a Microsoft Windows system has opened up. So anything that can give the consumer recall value to your brand can be a trademark, and that's very important here. Now, these are some of the cases that has happened last time in India. So this is brand Puma in India. Somebody designed Puma and got this Jaguar in a different style. There is the Starbucks coffee. Then in India said somebody, Starbucks Coffee and Company, they did this packaging and they started real living. Uh, there is night, there is nuke. So if you have ever been to Delhi, there's a uh, Palika Bazaar in CP. And in this, you can go and find all this Kuma, Neat, and other stuff. So what they are trying to do is they're trying to encash the goodwill and reputation of a company like Puma, Nike, Starbucks. They are not creating their own brand. What they're trying to do is they're trying to encash somebody else's goodwill and reputation. And this is not a very good sign. This is similar like a copycat. And you can file a court case with them, you can stop their production and sell. And that is what I said. IPR gives you this right that you can stop others from copying it. Now, next we are going to discuss is copyrights. Copyrights is for the authors, artists, composer, or anybody who has the intellect to create an image out of it. Now, what does this comprise of? Any literature work that you have done, any artistic work, painting, it can be any dramatic work. This is the art play or movies, OTTs, TV shows, theater plays, sort of things. And then musical work. This can be written, this can be uh, by the audio voice we can do. Also, we have cinematography, film, and a sound recording. So there are three ways to get your protection. Now, this is a simple example of how copyright looks like. This is the literature work that books, magazines, web pages, musical work that is lyrics and sound recordings, artistic work, painting, drawings, hair, photographs are very important. If you have captured a very good image in Net Geo, you always see best in photograph of the year in the wildlife and those sort of photographs, they take a copyright for them. Uh, Sound recording, then movies and recording of a live performance all can be copyrighted. Also, what's very important here to notice when you're getting a website done, make sure that you're not using somebody's copyrighted images on your website because that is a copyright violation. I recently got this case and where we had to pay some damages to the client because we used the image of somebody who owned that copyright. You cannot use somebody else's image on your website. So that's very important. Don't do it on Instagram as well. Uh, there are three examples here that I want to discuss. One that is Three Idiots case. So Chetan Bhagat sir wrote a book novel called 5 Point Someone, and then Vinod Chopra sir made a film out of it. Can anybody tell me the film name? This was done by Arjun Kapoor and Alia Bhatt. Am I audible?
Audible, sir, but we don't know the answer.
No way, sir. So the movie was called Two States. So in that movie, what was acknowledged here was that Vinod Chopra sir will give an acknowledgement to Mr. Bhagat Singh, Mr. Chetan Bhagat sir, and a screen time of Mr. Chetan Bhagat sir name will be there for some seconds. It was 5 or 11, I don't remember the exact details. So Chetan Bhagat sir mother went to the movie theater and then she went on to discuss the case. Uh, So Chetan Bhagatji told her mother that, see, my name will be there for a timeline and you will see my name and you'll be proud about it. So the mother went, saw the movie, and then she came back and told Chetan sir that your name was not even there. I could not even see it or recall it. So because in the contract and the agreement it was written that we are taking the copyright of your novel and we're going to make a picture out of it, so we will give you a screen time of this much second. And when you saw the movie, it was below that agreed contract. So that was a contract violation and they had to pay him some of 11 lakh rupees plus the acknowledgement credit to Mr. Ketan Bhagat. Then many copyright cases. Recently, Bacha uh, took a folk song of Assam person and then Assam person filed a case against Bacha and then they also went into a silent agreement. So these things are very, very common. Apart from that, if you look at here, How do you look this? Trademarks. These trademarks are also images. So when they're images, what can you do with images? You can get a copyright for them. So like I said, one simple designation does not mean this is a simple protection. You can take multiple protection, and this is known as umbrella protection. I'm taking a trademark, I'm taking copyright, I'm taking a patent. Originally, I don't want anybody else to copy it from some other way. Next is integrated circuits, geographical indication, and then plant variety acts. These are not very common. Integrated circuit, I think there have been only five filed, and both of five of them have been filed by ISRO. And so integrated circuits are very hard currently. But then the Indian current semiconductor market is getting boomed up. So there will be a lot of cases in the near future for the circuit design. Geographical indication is for the specific region. You have to form a committee and then you have to apply that we own this geographical indication. This can be done here. Uh, when you see the image in the background, this is known as Manjusa art from this is from Bihar, and we got a GI for this painting. Uh, let me see. You can see that. So this particular structure of how this paper and how this painting is done, this can only be done by Bihar people, and a particular community from that artist community can only do this. So that is why GI protection is being given. India has currently been focusing a lot on GI. West Bengal, Karascola, and we also have a lot of cases from south side as well. So geographical indications mean this particular product can only be devised here. Can anybody give me an example of any geographical indication that is from the south side of India? No worries.
Silk, Kanjipuram silk, something.
Yes, very nice. Very nice. So Kanjipuram silk is on, can only be generated in Kanjipuram. So that is why the names are given. And this is where trademarks, so this brand name will be associated with particular geographical indication or where it was produced so that everybody knows this was from this particular country or that state or that city. For the, and then, like in the patents, we said that any plant or anything cannot be given a right. But then in 2001, we figured out that there were few variants of seeds, few variants of plants, and other stuff. So Protection of Plant Variety and Farmer Rights Act came in 2001. So this was to encourage the variety of plants that will be developed because uh, there's a shortage of uh, produce nowadays. If you use a traditional method, uh, there will be a lot of harvest in your land. So variety of plants have come into the picture. Now, what is the role of IPR in the innovation? This gives the inventor and the applicant. I'll take it just a second. Right. So, sorry, my bad. My laptop was getting disturbed. So the next is it gives the inventor and the applicant the recognition for their work. Also, to get the ownership for it. Now, when you have a patent for it, you have to either set up manufacturing. If you have a trademark, then you're creating a brand, so you will create the job. And IPR is directly linked to the economy because if I have developed the technology, have you heard of the brand called Aether? This is an EV segment brand. They also sponsored, I think, Indian cricket team for a while. So Ather is one of the largest leading brands in the EV segment, and they have got multiple patents and they are wishing to license it. Now, in the EV segment, Ather now has got a contract with UK. So the technology of the UK people is the UK team is borrowing from India. So what this is doing is economic and development of India. And this also promotes the technology and healthcare and everything. So few days back or few years back, there were no cancer medicines. Now there are cancer medicines. Uh, there were no cure for a lot of the medical problems that were there, but now there are cures for medical problems. Uh, in the previous years, your cars used to give less mileage. Now they're giving better mileage. So what is happening is technical constant evolution of the human and the machine structure is happening, and this is what they does. Apart from that, what and how is IPR going to impact you guys and your startups that you're going to create is first, you get creative projects, research and innovations. And if you have a great startup idea, you can commercialize it. There is so much that is happening by the seed funding, grant funding, and then you can take angel investors on a pitch, and then you can create a brand for yourself. Uh, Zepto owner is only 24 years of age now. We all are, I'm 30, you guys must be in your college years, so 22, 25. So if you can create a startup, then you can create a great wealth for yourself and an opportunity to grow India. So this is my time. I think I want to ask if you guys have any question, let me know. This is the core team that we have. Mr. Atia is my father. He's the one person I'm president of India. I've been practicing for the last 35, 40 years now. Mr. S. Gupta is a retired controller from the patent office, so we understand how patent office works and what are the intricacies that needs to be done. Mr. Govind Sharma sir is one of the leading professionals who in 1989 was doing technology transfer with the students to the government agencies and the government to the uh, agencies, business owners. This is myself. I'm a BTech plus an advocate now. Mr. Viju, he is AR in Supreme Court, also a patent agent. And if you look at it, we are all science people. My father is done BSc, Mr. S.C. Professor has done mechanical engineering, Mr. Devan Sharma sir is a MSc in physics chemistry and masters in chemical technology. I'm a mechanical engineer and lawyer. Mr. Viju is bachelor's degree in mathematics honors physics chemistry and an advocate. So if you are not going to develop something, you can make a career out of this profession as well. We are also empaneled at NRDC. We are working with iHub Gujarat, HLL. This is the leading brand of the medical care of the Indian government. We work for Indian Army, Indian Navy. So any defense organization in India, we are working for them. NABARD is from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. We have been empaneled by them as well. We are working for Intel, Patanjali, Indian Army, Indian Oil, various companies. We are also working for the colleges, Shulini, AIMS, Rabindranath Tagore, and ISET University, NITs, IITs. So anywhere there's innovation, we have them. You can note down my details, my email IDs, phone number. So if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, participants, if you have any queries, you can interact with the speaker. If you have any doubts, Sir, I have one question, sir. What about the fees, sir? How much amount one individual has to pay in order to get a file a patent or uh,
Okay. So, India currently has the patent segment three pieces. One is filing fees, that is 1,600 rupees. Then there is publication fees. So normally the patent is published within 18 to 20 months, but we are all in hurry, so there's a process of early publication that will cost you around 2,500 rupees. In 1990s, India came up with a law that if you just want to file a patent, it's okay. But if you want us to examine your patent, then you have to pay us an extra fees. So 1600 plus 2500 can be your early publication. Within, I think, 30 days you get the publication. If you want the examination, then there are two examinations. One is normal, that is 4,000 rupees, and expedite examination, that is for startups, MSMEs, and only government this institutes. So they can take this benefit. There they have to pay 8,000 rupees. So the overall, if you have individual with a female applicant, then you will pay 12,100 rupees for the to the government. And professional fees depends from, we're all lawyers here, so it depends on advocate to advocate who has what kind of experience.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. I think there's no questions from the audience. So
No worries, sir.
thank you, sir. Yeah, I request Rekha to post a vote of thanks. Yes,
On behalf of
Rekha.
everyone here, I could like to express a sincere gratitude.
Yeah, Rekha, go ahead.
uh, On behalf of everyone here, I would like to express a sincere gratitude to our distinguished speaker, Mr. Divyanshu Yadav, sir, for sharing his valuable insights and expertise with us today. Your knowledge on intellectual property and its strategic importance has been truly enlightening. We could also like to extend our heartfelt thanks to our head of the department, Dr. R. Kumuda ma'am, for organizing this insightful webinar and making it possible. A big thank you to all the participants for their time and engagement throughout the session. We hope you all found today's discussion insightful and look forward to future sessions together. Thank you once again and have a great day.
Thank you, Rekha. Thank you. And thank you, sir, for being here, for your presence. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And HOD is quite busy, sir. She's having some program to attend. I will let her know, sir.
No worries.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, sir. So participants, you can give your feedback in the feedback link which is posted in the chat box.
Thank you, sir. I'll take your leave. Thank you so much, everyone. You've been a great audience, and I hope you're able to